Ryan and Brandon backstage, but don't disappear.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with men's physique division. Specifically the battle that is about to happen at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro stage between two men's physique Olympia champions, Brandon Henriksen and Erin Banks. So the men's physique doesn't get a lot of media coverage because if two of the top guys, they disliked each other in any other division, like for instance in Classic or the Men's Open, the way Erin and Brandon dislike each other, that would have been making the news every other day. Now both these guys have gone back and forth, beating each other. But Brandon, the 3 times men's physique Olympia champion, going for his 4th one this year, he has had the upper hand. The last time both these guys stood next to each other, and that was on the Olympia stage back in 2023, where Brandon was able to beat him, and that too very convincingly. In fact, there was a very heated moment on the stage when Brandon and Ryan Terry, they were told to get back in line, signaling that these two will be top 2. Plus, after the final confirmation round of the top 4 at the Olympia that year, there was no handshake between Brandon and Erin Banks. Now both these guys have been looking very impressive just a week out from this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So Erin Banks was the runner-up at this past Honor, Ohio, behind Ali Bilal. So the man is a legitimate Olympia title contender. But I have got to say something about his physique that doesn't look as promising, especially the way it did back in 2022 when he won the Olympia. And it doesn't look that promising. And one of the major reasons for that, in my opinion, that is the introduction of the weight caps. Now Erin has one of the best backs in that entire division, and Brandon too looks extremely impressive from every angle. So this is gonna be such a fierce battle on the stage in 4 days time, and we are expecting some real firework even in the men's physique. So do you guys agree that the guys in the men's physique, they do not get as much respect as the guys in the Men's Open or Classic or the 212? Well, the fact is some of these guys, they might not concentrate on developing the lower half, and you simply cannot blame them. Their legs or something were just unjudged on the stage in that division. But that being said, all these guys, they have incredible core development, and these guys train and diet just as hot as Classic or the Men's Open guys. So what do you guys think? Which one of these top guys from men's physique, Brandon and Erin, is gonna come out on top this time? As far as I can remember, I have never seen Regan Grimes and his diet phase like this, even when he was just a few days out of the show in the past. So kind of seems like his new coach, Stefan, has been pushing him really hard during these past few weeks, and that is clearly evident from his face right now. So Regan, a 265 plus pounds bodybuilder, he is currently eating 3000 calories a day, which is still a lot more than what he was used to eating in the past, which was sub 1800 calories, especially in that Olympia prep back in 2023. And that is the key here. So Regan himself, he has spoken about this, that no matter what your supplement protocol looks like, in those final 6 weeks, if you're of the same size as Regan and eating only 1800 calories, and with the stress of training and cardio, you are very prone to losing a lot of muscle tissue. So that is exactly what happened with Regan back in 2023 at the Olympia stage. So he took more than 1 year off. He did not do any show last year, just like he did back in 2022. And then he did a couple of shows in 2023 before the Olympia, like the Flex Pro Italy and Europa Pro, and he stood next to Nathan D'Asia. And the man looked a lot bigger than the previous year, but still had some body fat to lose. And come Olympia time, he was in a superb condition, no doubt. But the man just lost so much size, so much mass. And the biggest reason he was able to place top 9 in the world, that was because many big names like Nick and Martin, they weren't competing that year. Well, as of right now, Regan is looking like he's gonna hold on to all that muscle mass really well, all the way till the stage time. And that is gonna make one hell of a difference in his overall look. So even if he's shooting for California Pro, that's under 3 weeks away, and the appearance of the death phase with 3 weeks in hand, that is a superb indication that we're gonna see Regan at his all-time best this year. And that is what we all wanna see. So the reigning Miss Olympia Samson Dao skipped this opportunity to win $100,000 at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. But the champ is making sure that as a Miss Olympia, he goes out there with his supplement brand, Hosstile, and he makes the maximum out of it, out of all the guest posing on different venues. So Samson and the team, they were in Mexico, where Samson Dao gave the crowd a great show. So this is most probably the final week of chilling and relaxing for Samson Dao, because as soon as he's done with the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, Samson is gonna be 100% logged in for the big off-season push ahead. So the amount of muscle mass this guy is able to hold on to, while running literally nothing, no PDs, no gear whatsoever, or even what some people call very little, that is still so damn amazing. And this idea of giving his body the much needed break after every major competition, that has just worked wonderfully in his favor. But this is the year where it truly matters, especially after him losing the Arnold Ohio title to Derek Lunsford. So can you imagine how high Samson's stocks would be right now if he won the Arnold roughly 10 weeks back? Now we know there are some question marks on who is gonna be the next Miss Olympia this year, and this upcoming Olympia being one of the very open one. That is due to the fact that the judges picked Derek over Samson Dao at the Arnold Ohio. They chose conditioning over mass.
Okay, this is our CDX product. That's a highly branched cyclodextrin. It's low osmolarity, which means it's not going to cause a lot of water to get drawn into the stomach. You're not going to get a lot of bloat and distress. Again, that's going to really help to maximize your post-workout recovery. So that's our CDX. It's our carbohydrate formula. Check yours out at hosstile.com.
The 7 times Miss Olympia champion Phil Heath, one of the greatest of all time, he's back to weighing his food, which simply means only one thing. We are about to see Phil Heath get lean. And his physique right now is already showing signs of it. So the living legend is gonna turn 46 this year. And those godly genetics, they have allowed him to maintain such a good amount of muscle, even though he isn't following any structured meal plan. And he also isn't very regular with his eating schedule, which is understandable. Now Phil Heath at different point in his career, he was eating up to 7 meals a day. And that was the time when Big Ramy was coming in very hot, especially the year 2017. So the game plan was not to give too much size to Ramy, which, now looking back, wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was that crazy condition of Phil Heath, with one of the most 3D looking physique of all time on the stage, that allowed him to be so goddamn dominant for 7 years straight. He was never the biggest guy. I mean, his highest stage weight, that was 247 pounds. So him chasing size to stop Big Ramy, that in my opinion was the wrong call. So we are living in an era where Derek's back is regarded as one of the best backs of all time. But strictly speaking, Phil Heath's back, especially that back double biceps, that was a thing of beauty. So if Phil Heath did not have that hernia issue, he probably would have broken the record of Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney of 8 Olympia titles. So we know Terence Ruffin is the favorite to win this year's Pittsburgh Pro, which is happening this weekend. But the most exciting part of the Pittsburgh Pro, especially in classic physique, that is gonna be the classic physique debut of Carlos de Oliveira. So he just released a new video, and someone who doesn't follow bodybuilding, if someone showed this video to them, they can easily take it as an AI generated video. That's how crazy impressive Carlos is looking. Just 4 days out of this show, the chest and the delts have so much depth in them, and so much detail, kind of reminiscent of what Hadi Chopin has. And this video is taken at 4 days out, so it's most probably gonna improve even more in the next coming days. So some people are expecting that this is gonna be a showdown between Terence Ruffin and Carlos, which means setting up really high expectations for Carlos's pro debut in classic physique. Because we have to keep in mind, there is another guy in there, and that is Jose Mabis, who by the way is a top 6 Olympian. So the most important factor that will determine how Carlos is gonna compare to some of these top guys is that does he have a comparable X-frame and a V-taper as Terence Ruffin and Jose Manuel. Nevertheless, this is one hell of an addition in classic physique lineup. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.